First of all, greetings to everyone. I am Pavni Bhargav, a student of Mata Sundari College, University of Delhi, currently pursuing my BA in History and Political Science. My topic for GSTS conversation is an often overlooked yet crucial topic, which is photography and visual archives. But first, thanks to GSTS platform for giving me this opportunity to convey my topic on this, and thanks to Miss Dr. Raj Srivastav ma'am to take time and be here for listening to my talk. First of all, let me share my screen for photography and visual archive, which I have made. So first, let me come to the objectives of this topic, why I have chosen this topic. So I will be covering the introduction or to photography and visual archives, which includes the understanding and significance and the role of visual materials in historical research, exploring digital archives, its uses, benefits, and relevance in preserving and accessing historical visual materials. Third, discussing notable examples and insights from historians on the value and challenges of digital archives, and will be sharing my own experiences and takeaway from working on this topic. Now, why I have chosen this topic? So, as someone who is drawn to be photography for years, I have cultivated a deep appreciation for its artistic and technical aspects. Capturing the smallest of details and telling stories through images has become a creative outlet for me. And given my interest in photography's academic dimensions, I have chosen this topic to explore its significance and applications in visual archives. So let's begin with what is an archive. So an archive is a place where people can go gather first-hand facts, data, and evidence from letters, reports, notes, memos, photographs, and other primary sources as the key source of nation. And other primary sources. The archive as a cultural institution produced in context of power that allows both for the production and elision of different kinds of historical narratives. It will also underline the issue of access and digitization, which is crucial for researchers today. Historians since the mid-19th century, in pursuing the new scientific history, needed an archive that was a neutral repositories of fact. Until very recently, they established archives by the powerful to protect or enhance their position in the society. The power of archives, records, and archivists should no longer remain naturalized or denied, but should be open to vital debate and transparent accountability. Archivists, as keeper of archives, wield power over those very records central to memory and identify formation through active management of records before they come to archives. As the key source of nation, archives became relevant for all possible constructions, including building of national traditions and making history. So, as an archival institution, we can take an example of National Archives, which is the custodian of records of enduring value of the Government of India. It was established on 11th March in 1891 at Kolkata as the Imperial Records Department, now situated at the intersection of Janpath and Kartavyapath in Delhi. It is the biggest archival repository in South Asia. It has a vast corpus of records, public records, private papers, oriental records, etc., which constitute an invaluable source of information for scholars, administrators, and other users of archive. National Archives maintain a digital archive which is called as Abhilekh Patal. which offers an online access to its reference media and digitized collection. Abhilekh Patel ka link सामने PPT में mentioned है. One can go and access through by login and access the government data or any kind of private papers, which any kind of private papers कोई भी जाके login करके उस पे access कर सकता है and उसको read कर सकता है. Currently, there are around 2 million digitized records which are available online. So next we come to how photography contributes to visual archive. So it plays a crucial role in creating and maintaining visual archives. It serves as a powerful tool for documentation, preservation, and historical research, offering insights into past events, social changes, and cultural practices. फोटोग्राफ ऐसी चीज है जो माइन्यूट डिटेल्स, छोटी सी छोटी डिटेल्स कैप्चर कर सकती है जो कि एक ह्यूमन आई के थ्रू ना देखी जा सके, बट फोटोग्राफ उसको कैप्चर कर लेती है. एंड इट प्रोवाइड्स रिच इंफॉर्मेशन फॉर रिसर्चर्स, एंड फोटोग्राफ सर्व्स एज एविडेंस ऑफ हिस्टोरिकल इवेंट्स, people and places, providing an authentic visual record. फोटोग्राफ्स यादें संजो के रखती है जो लोगों से जुड़ी हुई होती है, जगहों से जुड़ी हुई होती है, इवेंट से जुड़ी हुई होती हैं, और फ्यूचर जनरेशंस, आने वाली जनरेशंस को अलाउ करती है अपना हेरिटेज अप्रिशिएट करने को और उससे लर्न करने. एंड विजुअल आर्काइव सिर्फ फोटोग्राफ्स तक ही सीमित नहीं है. विजुअल आर्काइव काफी सारी चीजें आती हैं जैसे कि इलस्ट्रेशंस, पेंटिंग्स एंड अदर इमेजेस which can be involved into various visual materials which are stored for reference and future research. And digital visual archives are becoming increasingly important and for preserving and disseminating the photographic works in the digital age. क्योंकि आजकल के डिजिटल एज में आर्काइव्स को प्रिजर्व करना, स्पेशली डिजिटली प्रिजर्व करना, काफी इम्पोर्टेंट हो गया है. And everything is on online. One can easily access it, so it needs to be preserved carefully. And these archives ensure the longevity, accessibility, and organization of photographic images, playing a vital role in preserving cultural heritage and supporting research. So next up we have what is in digital archive. They are set up online by the Indian stakeholders, performing the dual task of involving practices of lived memory and storing archival information. They decidedly claim to preserve the past, and they actively engage users as prosumers. Prosumers yani they will be the consumer and producer both. One can upload their story also, and कोई और जाके उस स्टोरी को पढ़ भी सकता है. So they will be the producer and the consumer both. So they actively engage users as prosumers on the web who interact with the creation and sharing the digital archives content. They create virtual spaces that invite people to comment, share, and like individual stories and memories, thus allowing archived memories to become lived ones. Now here we come to historian's point of view. So first up, we have Dr. Katja Muller. She explores how digital media and information in communication technologies, which is abbreviated as ICTs, are reshaping commemorative practices and the functioning of archives. Unlike traditional material archives, they are associated with permanence and authority. Digital archives, on the other hand, are based on binary code. They are more fluid and more mutable and are oriented towards experience and immediacy rather than long-term preservation. So another historian, Nora, in 1989, he explains and makes a distinction between what is history and what is memory. So he writes that memory is by nature multiple, yet specific, collective, plural, and yet individual. And history, on the other hand, he says, belongs to everyone and to no one whence it claim to universal authority is derived. And he further adds that memory is absolute while history can only conceive the relative. So, what archival and lived memory have in common is the mediation of memory. They are enabled by media and technologies that transmit and to a certain extent transform the content that is to be memorized. Another historian is Barthes, convincingly argued that a photograph itself a technical reproduction with prominent physical qualities that relies predominantly on the visual content of the image. बात आगे बताते हैं कि पर्टिकुलर पोजीशन से फोटोग्राफ पास्ट और प्रेजेंट दोनों ही एस्पेक्ट में हेल्प करती है, दोनों ही एस्पेक्ट में हमें गो थ्रू करने में हेल्प करती है. एंड एक फोटोग्राफ अपने साथ एक डीप इमोशनल रिलेशनशिप और पर्सनल मेमोरीज को कनेक्टेड रखती है. ये उनका कंप्लीट आर्गुमेंट है. एंड इफ वी टॉक अबाउट एन example or an example in our daily life, it is the internet. So internet we use daily, and we might not know that it is an also a digital archive which now offers other forms and functions. हर कोई इंटरनेट अपनी डेली लाइफ में आजकल बहुत ज्यादा इस्तेमाल करता है. So it is a form of digital archive which has progressed incredibly from the simple and not every time useful art of internet pages in the 90s to more comfortable and organized as also user friendly. So, but internet as a digital archive has its pros and cons also. So the biggest fear or even worry for some people is the new art form of informational organization and form. So on internet some people worry that हम अपना डेटा स्टोर कहाँ से करें, हम अपना डेटा को ऑर्गेनाइज कैसे करें, हम अपने डिजिटल डेटा को किस तरीके से रखें कि वो हमेशा सेफ और सिक्योर्ड रहे. सो ये इंटरनेट का सबसे बड़ा डिसएडवांटेज है और वी कैन से डीमेरिट है. So digital information needs another art of cataloging system, which is it is not possible to organize the digital library or an archive in the way that was done for the original analog version of the archive. काफी PDFs या e-books if we use as a student, काफी PDFs में हमने देखा होगा कि hypertext is used. Hypertext maybe in blue colors, in some PDFs it is mostly shown in blue color. So hypertext is used to go from one link to another. So in organizing digital information, hypertext is used to go from one website to another, which means one hyperlink will lead to another. And second, the archive, even if they have connection with other pages and archiving systems, they can and will use borders. So the question of organization and storage is nevertheless very acute, but it is हम सब कुछ तो अपना डेटा डिजिटल डेटा एक जगह स्टोर करके रखना काफी इम्पॉसिबल है. बट फिर इसका सोल्यूशन क्या है? तो इसका सोल्यूशन है क्लाउड स्टोरेज. क्लाउड स्टोरेज हम सबके पास होगा, इवन हम सब यूज भी कर रहे होंगे इन द फॉर्म ऑफ गूगल ड्राइव. सो Google Drive, it is which obviously should be combined with the new forms not only of preservation but also of recording and recreation of the documents. Cloud storage किसी भी तरीके की यूज कर सकता है कोई भी, not only of Google but कोई भी तरीके का यूज कर सकता है, which can be used for storing our digital data and digital information. However, this solution is not absolute, because it can cause many other problems such as access to personal information, hacking, and it can be used for political purposes also. So next we have, what is the role of AI in transforming digital archives? आज की एज में AI हर चीज को रेवोल्यूशन ला रहा है, हर चीज में रेवोल्यूशन ला रहा है. So in the age of digital archives, particularly in the cultural heritage sector, it is transforming at an astonishing pace. AI is transforming digital archives by automating tasks, enhancing accessibility, and improving preservation. AI powered tools can automatically categorize, tag, and generate metadata, making it easier to manage and retrieve information. AI can easily identify objects, people, locations, or even events in visual content. It can also help to restore damaged images, faded text, and audio, thus helping preservation of visual and digital archives. AI पे कोई भी हम अपना डेटा अपलोड करेंगे, फॉर एग्जांपल एनी काइंड ऑफ डैमेज पेज, इफ वी अपलोड ऑन एआई, अगर एआई पे अपलोड करते हैं, सो एआई रिपेयर करके हमें उसको वापस देगा. इट कैन मेक इट अ कंप्लीट सेंटेंस कि यहाँ पे ये मिसिंग है, दीज वर्ड्स आर मिसिंग. सो एआई कैन transform the digital archive, and it helps in restoring and securing the digital archival material. So digital archives that are embedded in the internet, which itself through its net structure opposes hierarchical structure between different websites. It rather provides cross links and add-ons to allow flat navigation from one website to another. Thus, the internet and its included digital archives theoretically provide a more democratic option for preserving media as a basis for commemorative practices through access and sorting mechanisms. Next, we have the examples of digital archive. What could be the examples of digital archive? First, I have talked about the Abhilekh Patal. It is also one of the example of digital archive, which is maintained by National Archives of India. Abhilekh Patal पे गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया से रिलेटेड सारे रिकॉर्ड्स अवेलेबल है ऑनलाइन. कोई भी जाके उस पर लॉग इन कर सकता है एंड कोई भी उसको एक्सेस कर सकता है फ्रीली. एंड देयर आर सम मोर एग्जांपल्स. फर्स्ट ऑफ, इंटरनेशनल डिजिटल आर्काइव्स. In International Digital Archives, I have noted down two digital archives, which first is Internet Archive. इंटरनेट आर्काइव का जो URL हो, जो लिंक होता है, वो मैंने पीपीटी में मेंशन कर दिया है. इस पे जाके कोई भी जाके इस पे एक्सेस कर सकता है. एंड एज अ स्टूडेंट मैंने थ्रू आउट माई कॉलेज जर्नी आई हैव एक्सेस so many books that helped me in my academic discipline also. And Internet Archive is a non-profit organization which provides free access to researchers, scholars, and to general public. कोई भी इस पे जाके लॉगिन की इस पे ज्यादा नीड नहीं होती, so one can access freely, and there are millions of books available on this platform. Second is Project Gutenberg. Project Gutenberg is the first provider of free electronic books. इसका भी लिंक मैंने पीपीटी में मेंशन कर दिया है. इस पे भी कोई भी जाके कितनी भी बुक्स इस पे जाके डाउनलोड कर सकता है, इससे रीड कर सकता है. एंड इट इज ऑल्सो अ फ्री प्लेटफॉर्म ऑफ डिजिटल आर्काइव. And if we talk about Indian Digital Archive, we have the Indian Memory Project and the 1947 Partition Archive. They both were created independently and they were established independently by the so-called Indian middle class, and they represent online archives in the India's digital landscape. They both make extensive use of Web 2.0 elements and social media to engage internet users on their project. So first we talk about Indian Memory Project. It invites people to contribute old photographs with a story of the image content. It is a visual and narrative-based online archive that traces the diverse and personal histories of South Asia via photographs found in the private archives. It was founded in 2010 by Anusha Yadav. The project traces the history of Indian subcontinent via images and stories contributed by people around the world. Indian Memory Project is an empathetic and personal memory of the world, that is sociological and photographic history remembered and realized by its own people. So when we open the Indian Memory Project by this link, which is mentioned in the PPT, इसका होम पेज इस तरीके से दिखता है, and there are millions of stories available. One can go and read them, the unsung stories, the untold stories about the South Asian states, including India also. And this is the directory of Indian Memory Project, that from where do they take the sources. What are their sources? They include National Archives of India, the British Library Archives, and also the People's Archive of Rural India. So they are open worldwide, and we can access Indian Memory Project from any time and anywhere. Next, as the example of Indian Digital Archive, we have the 1947 Partition Archive. So as the name suggests, it trains the so-called citizen historians to record audiovisual material of people who have experienced the partition of India and Pakistan, and provides photographical portraits and summaries of their stories in written form online. And it is the first and largest global effort to document and preserve and share the people's history of partition. At present, there are the collection of 5,300 oral history interviews this archive collects. And the oral history archive contains a collection of live stories recorded on video and sometimes audio from those who witnessed the partition of South Asian states in 1947. And this is how it looks. इसका भी URL में मैंने mention किया है. And on the opening of this page, when we open it, there is a video of partition. When we open it, it completely shows how the story of partition goes, and till present, what is the condition of the Indian subcontinent. And they offer many kinds of internships also, and it is a complete dedicated portal, dedicated digital archive for the partition of India and Pakistan. To conclude, digital archive bear opportunities and challenges which are situated within the internet, and they include the possibility of lowering barriers of access while establishing new ones, beginning to break up visual economies while constructing distinct structures, and including a larger audience that might exclude certain part of societies. Their central potential lies in the development of a prosumer. If online projects involve the audience in both primary content production and feedback and content sharing, as the Indian Memory Project and 1947 Partition Archive do, they provide ideal preconditions for cultural production that is a shared endeavor. And at last, digital archive have the potential to combine both aspects in one virtual space. By their recursion to the term archive, implicitly demand a reassessment of the term archive too. And what is my takeaway from this topic? It would be that as a students, we can have our own digital archive, our own personal and private archive, which would be in the form of, as I have suggested earlier, which would be in the form of Google Drive. Everyone might have their own Google Drive, in which we can store our digital data in the form of study materials, ebooks, ancestral documents, our photos, our archival material, and anything which is related to the history, which is related to the past, it can be stored in the Google Drive as in safe and secured manner, and it can be backed and restored whenever anyone need. So this was my topic of photography and visual archive, and thank you for listening me patiently.
Thank you so much, Pavni. That was really a commendable presentation from your end. And I also believe जो हमारे साथ आज नए scholars हैं who have just entered into this world of research, or who are the new scholars have just started with their graduation की journey, they would have gained a lot from your topic, because at times ये dilemma रहता है in the first initial years of our graduation कि from where do we find the sources, what should be our knowledge base be like. So I believe you have given them a good foundation for their research works, and it will definitely help them to improve their own research works in the future. So now I just like to take up a few questions that were asked by some of the people from our audience. And if you find any question a bit, doubtful, you can ask me to repeat it. If you feel like it. Okay. So we have the first question by Mr. Shubham Tiwari, and he is asking, how can digital archives of photographs enhance research and scholarship in Indian history and culture? So the domain is specifically for the Indian history and culture.
Okay, so I think digital archives of photographs can enhance the Indian history and culture. They are the most probable evidence of Indian history and the culture, and they provide rich information which can be used for studying Indian history and its culture. For example, if we take up the photograph of partition, it relates to the history of partition of India and its Pakistan, and it can enhance our culture in a way that we can have the we can have the mindset by seeing the photograph that it was taken a long back, and how we have come across to it it can change our mindset in many ways. So I think it is the cultural impact only.
Definitely, most definitely. All right, we have another question by Mr. Ankit, and he is asking कि यदि कोई समाज केवल विजुअल आर्काइव्स के आधार पर अपना पास्ट लिखता है, तो क्या ये पॉसिबिलिटी है कि वो जो पास्ट लिखा जा रहा है, जो हिस्ट्री लिखी जा रही है, वो ऑब्जेक्टिव रह जाएगी? सो व्हाट आर योर व्यूज ऑन इट?
नहीं, मुझे नहीं लगता कि वो सिर्फ ऑब्जेक्टिव रह जाएगी, क्योंकि डिजिटल आर्काइव का जो मटेरियल है वो हमेशा ही हमारे पास रहने वाला है, क्योंकि वो ऑनलाइन फॉर्म में अवेलेबल है, एंड कोई भी जाके उसको एक्सेस कर सकता है. तो आई डोंट थिंक सो कि वो सिर्फ ऑब्जेक्टिव रह जाएगी. इट कैन बी ओपन टू एनीवन, एंड इट मस्ट बी सजेस्टिव आल्सो.
Definitely, and it also reminds me of this saying that a painter discloses, but a photographer constructs, or discloses. So a painter constructs and a photographer discloses is definitely one of the things that we can have, a look at when we talk about the digital archives. Okay, we have another question by Ms. Srishti Rana, and she is asking, in what ways do photography and digital archives act as a mirror to our past, preserving not only visual memories but also cultural, social, and historical narratives?
Okay, so photography definitely acts as a mirror to our past. If anyone कोई भी अपनी पुरानी फोटो देखेगा तो उसको डेफिनेटली अपना पास्ट ही याद आएगा, एंड कोई भी अपना डिजिटल आर्काइवल मटेरियल देखेगा तो उसको भी अपना पास्ट ही याद आता है. सो इट डेफिनेटली इज अ मिरर टू द पास्ट. इट कंप्लीटली शोज कि हम मतलब कहाँ थे और हम कहाँ आ चुके हैं. सो it definitely acts as a mirror to the past. It visual memories is stored, preserve cultural and social historical narratives. Definitely. Visual memories are the part of photography, and they enhance our historical and social and cultural aspects also. Visual memories, it's also interlinked to photography. Well, if a photograph is taken in the society, or it's a photograph of a society members, it definitely preserve it, and it definitely आगे उसकी legacy को आगे बढ़ा सकता है, and it definitely connects to the historical and social narrative.
All right, well answered, Pavni. I have one last question which is being asked by Mr. Akash Tyagi. And the question is also very interesting. He mentions that since archives play a vital role in narrative construction, as the Britishers used to create the narratives in their own favor, so how does the state, the government, or the ruler play its role in maintaining the archive and in changing narratives? So, what is their role?
So as I mentioned in my complete talk, that archives have its role in power also, and archive can be used for political purposes also. So if the government uses it, and it uploaded its data on its portal, which maintains by NAI. So archive government can maintain the digital archive. And changing narratives, if we talk about changing narrative, as the government changes, they upload their current data related to present day, and it contributes to the talk, it contributes to the historical narrative also.
All right, Pavni. So thank you for answering all the questions. हम एक last question लेंगे जो हम अपने सभी speakers से पूछते हैं कि आपका experience हमारे platform के साथ कैसा रहा. So ताकि जो हमारे upcoming scholars हैं, maybe who are present here अभी हमारे साथ, उनको पता चले कि GSTS का process क्या है, how the things work. तो आप अपने experience के बारे में बताइए, and how was your journey with the team?
It is definitely good journey, I would say, and all the moderators are very helpful and very friendly, and they help me a lot in suggesting my topic, कि कैसे improve कर सकते हैं अपना topic, and they have already been given much suggestions, and I have improved my topic very much through their team, and it is definitely a very nice journey with them.
थैंक यू सो मच पावनी आपके टॉक के लिए, एंड हम होप करेंगे कि आप आप कनेक्टेड रहें हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म के साथ, एंड मे बी आगे जाके शायद और रिफाइंड एंड अ मच डीपर वर्जन के साथ यू प्रेजेंट योर आर्ग्यूमेंट्स ऑन अ टॉपिक ऑफ योर रिसर्च. सो थैंक यू सो मच पावनी, एंड विद दैट बीइंग सेड अब मैं इनवाइट करना चाहूंगी हमारी चीफ गेस्ट को अगेन. सो आई वुड लाइक टू इनवाइट डॉक्टर राज. सो मैम प्लीज कम अप एंड अपने सजेशंस एंड इनसाइट्स DGA for Pavni's talk and also for the GSTS platform. So over to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, समृद्धि. पावनी का जो भी प्रेजेंटेशन रहा, बहुत ध्यान से मैंने देखा, काफी इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक है ये. और किस तरीके से आज के डेट में पहले जो फोटोग्राफी होती थी और वो स्टिल फोटोग्राफी से डिजिटल फोटोग्राफी की तरफ आना, ये अपने आप में एक बहुत चैलेंज है. और बहुत सारे, जैसे हम लोग मोबाइल की बात करते हैं, लैंडलाइन पहले फोन हुआ करते थे, धीरे धीरे आज इस फॉर्म में मोबाइल है. अब किसी के पास कैमरा उतना अच्छा नहीं मिलेगा आपको, जो कि आप मोबाइल लीजिए और कहीं भी जाके शूट कर लीजिए. तो काफी जो डिजिटलाइजेशन होने के बाद और बहुत सारे साधन हमारे पास आ गए हैं, तो बहुत सारी चीजें जहाँ बहुत सरल हो गई हैं, लेकिन बहुत सारे साथ साथ में अपने कॉम्प्लिकेशंस भी लेके आ रहे हैं. तो एक डिजिटल फोटोग्राफी में सबसे पहले तो फोटोग्राफी या करने में, या किसी भी रिसर्च वर्क को करने में, या किसी भी कार्य को करने में, सबसे पहले हम लोगों को 5W और 1H इसका ख्याल रखना होगा. बहुत सारे लोग इसमें नहीं जानते होंगे कि 5W और 1H क्या है. ठीक है. और चूंकि एक फोटोग्राफ अपने आप में पूरी स्टोरी को बयां कर देता है, अगर आप एक अच्छा फोटो डालिए, तो जैसे हम लोग इथियोपिया का, कालाहांडी का, ये सब का जो फोटोग्राफ एक समय जो भुखमरी का आया था, तो उसमें किसी स्टोरी को लिखने की, टैगलाइन की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ी थी। तो उस तरीके से जब भी हम लोग कोई भी फोटोग्राफ खींचे, अगर बहुत प्लान्ड में कहीं कोई घटना हो रही है, आप गए तुरंत, आपके पास बहुत सारी चीजें सोचने का, समझने का समय नहीं रहता है, तो इंस्टेंट आपको तुरंत वो फोटोग्राफ लेना पड़ता है। लेकिन जहां पे भी हम लोग सोच समझ के, जैसे हिस्टोरिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से जहां पे हम लोग बात करते हैं, तो हम लोग को सबसे पहले 5W और 1H का ख्याल रखना चाहिए। मतलब क्या है 5W? मतलब क्या है? वाई, वेन, व्हाट, वेयर और हु। हु, यस, हु। मतलब ये घटना कहाँ हुई, कब हुई, कौन कौन इसमें इन्वॉल्व था, कैसे हुआ। और 1H जब बात करते हैं, हाउ। तो हम लोग जब भी 5W, वेन, वेयर, विच, व्हाट एंड वाई, ये हो गया। और एक 1H, हाउ। तो ये चीज हम अपने दिमाग में जब भी रखेंगे ना, तो वो फोटोग्राफी जब भी हम डिजिटल की जैसे बात करें, वो रख के हमने उसको आर्काइव बना दिया, तो मेरे बाद वाले जो जनरेशन आएंगे, आपके बाद आपके काम को जो फॉलो करेंगे, तो वो फोटोग्राफी उनको सारी कहानी बता दे। ये कोशिश हम लोग को जरूर करनी होगी। दूसरी चीज, जब डिजिटल फोटोग्राफी की और डिजिटल और आर्काइव की जब बात हो रही है, तो बहुत सारे पायरेटेड वर्जन भी आ रहे हैं। बहुत लोग आपके फोटोग्राफ को चुरा के कुछ एडिट करके अपने नाम पे कर ले रहे हैं। तो उस जगह एक सिक्योरिटी होनी चाहिए। एक सिक्योरिटी कुछ ऐसा आप करके, आजकल तो आप एडोब में जाइए, फोटोशॉप में जाइए, इलस्ट्रेटर में काम कीजिए, सब जगह आप फोटोग्राफ को चेंज कर सकते हैं। तो कुछ जगह अपने अपने काम को अपने काम को बचा के रखना, और उसको कोई मिसयूज ना करे। बचा के रखने का मतलब, आप उसका अपने काम में यूज कीजिए, लेकिन रेफरेंस आप दे दीजिए। ऐसा आइए, आप कहीं आर्काइव में रखे हो तो आप ये कोशिश कीजिए कि वो आपका कॉपीराइट हो वहां पे। अपना पर्सनल फोटोग्राफ, इवेंट का फोटोग्राफ, ये सब आप कर ले रहे हैं, लेकिन जब आप हिस्ट्री की बात करते हैं, रिसर्च की बात करते हैं, उस जगह थोड़ा सा हम लोगों को भी कॉन्शियस होना होगा कि आपके फोटोग्राफ का मिसयूज कोई ना कर सके, क्योंकि आप जाके काम कर रहे हैं उस जगह। जब हिस्ट्री में हम लोग बात करते हैं, तो सेकेंडरी सोर्सेज पे फोकस होता है इस हिस्ट्री का रिसर्च। और उस समय जो आर्काइव की हम लोग बात करते हैं, तो देखिए हम लोग को जो भी, आपने बहुत सारे डिटेल्स में बहुत अच्छी अच्छी बातें बताएं कि किस किस जगह जाके हम लोग को फोटोग्राफ्स मिल सकता है, कहाँ कहाँ हमारा ये आर्काइव है। स्टूडेंट के लिए, आगे आने वाले स्टूडेंट के लिए ये बहुत फायदेमंद चीज है। और मैंने भी आपके इस प्रेजेंटेशन से बहुत कुछ सीखा। शायद हम लोग थोड़े से ओल्ड फैशन वाले लोग हैं, कि उस समय जो हम लोगों ने रिसर्च किया फील्ड में जाके, प्राइमरी सोर्सेज से, सेकेंडरी सोर्सेज से, अब आ रहा है डिजिटल सोर्सेज। तो ये हमारे लिए भी जानने की बात थी। पावनी, आपका पेपर बहुत ही अच्छा रहा, बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से आपने प्रेजेंट किया, एक एक चीज को बहुत क्लियर किया। और मैं अपने पर्सनली, अपने तरफ से और इस GSTS प्लेटफॉर्म की तरफ से आपके उज्जवल भविष्य की कामना करती हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू सो मच मैम। आपके जो सजेशंस थे, आई थिंक वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग थे, क्योंकि जो आपने 5Ws एंड 1H बताया, ये डेफिनेटली कोई भी फोटोग्राफर एंड जो इंटरप्रेटर है उसका, दोनों एंड्स के लिए ये ज़रूरी हो जाता है कि हम वो 5Ws एंड 1H, नॉट जस्ट फॉर द फोटोग्राफर बट ऑल्सो फॉर द पीपल जो इंटरप्रेट करेंगे। सो थैंक यू मैम आपकी प्रेजेंस के लिए, और जो आपके जितने भी थॉट्स, अपने जो सजेशंस दिए हैं पावनी को, we are very sure कि पावनी उन पे काम करेंगी, and she'll keep on going with this journey of hers. So thank you so much ma'am for your presence and for your most kind words for Pavni and the team.